Imagine a world where AI doesn't just assist doctors. It predicts disease before symptoms appear, designs new drugs in hours, and uncovers treatments for conditions once thought incurable. This isn't science fiction, it's happening now. From decoding cancer to resurrecting lost therapies, artificial intelligence is shaking the very foundations of medical research. Artificial intelligence is no longer just analyzing data. It's becoming an indispensable tool in rewriting the rules of medical discovery, and the changes are coming fast. Let's start with a massive shift: drug discovery. Traditional drug development is a notoriously slow and expensive process. It often takes over a decade and costs upwards of $2.8 billion to bring a single drug to market. But AI is slashing those timelines dramatically. Take the biotech company in silico medicine, which recently made headlines by using an AI platform to design a novel drug for idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, a serious lung disease. What normally would take years, their AI accomplished in just 18 months. And that drug? It's already in phase 2 clinical trials. AI isn't just fast, it's shockingly accurate. Tools like DeepMind's AlphaFold have mapped out the 3D structures of over 200 million proteins, solving one of biology's most complex puzzles. This protein folding breakthrough was described by experts as a solution to a 50-year grand challenge. And it's unlocked entirely new possibilities in targeting diseases at the molecular level. But the impact doesn't stop at molecules. AI is also transforming clinical trial design. Historically, trials have been plagued by inefficiencies, poorly matched patients, missed biomarkers, and massive attrition rates. Now platforms like Unlearn.ai are creating digital twins of patients using real-world health data. These twins simulate patient outcomes without the need for a physical counterpart, reducing the size and duration of trials dramatically. Imagine needing only half as many participants, and finishing trials in months instead of years. And then there's AI in genomics, a revolution within a revolution. Take Google's Deep Variant. It uses deep learning to identify genetic mutations with astonishing accuracy. This tool is helping researchers pinpoint the genetic roots of rare diseases faster than ever before. In fact, in 2022, researchers using Deep Variant uncovered over 50 new gene disease associations, insights that could lead to targeted therapies that simply weren't possible before. In the fight against rare diseases, AI is emerging as a lifeline. Around the world, over 300 million people live with rare disorders, many of which go undiagnosed for years. AI systems like Fabric Genomics and Face2Gene are using facial recognition and genomic pattern matching to identify syndromes that elude even seasoned specialists. For some families, this has meant ending a diagnostic odyssey that lasted over a decade, all with a single photo and a genome scan. Beyond labs and clinical trials, AI is reshaping how we understand disease itself. Consider the case of Alzheimer's. Scientists have long struggled to identify the earliest biomarkers of the disease. But a study published in Nature in 2023 used machine learning to analyze PET scan data from over 1,000 patients. The AI detected changes in brain metabolism years before memory loss became apparent, potentially giving doctors a crucial window to intervene. In mental health, researchers are experimenting with AI-driven speech analysis to detect early signs of depression, schizophrenia, or bipolar disorder. By analyzing micro-patterns in voice tone, sentence structure, and word choice, these tools can flag cognitive changes far earlier than human observers. One such system, Oral Analytics, is already being used in clinical studies to track neurodegenerative diseases like ALS and Parkinson's with remarkable precision. And then there's epidemiology. Before the world had even grasped the full extent of COVID-19, an AI platform called Blue Dot raised the alarm. It scanned global news in 65 languages, flight data, and animal disease reports to predict the outbreak, days before the WHO issued its first alert. Today, similar AI systems are being used to monitor potential pandemics, track antibiotic resistance, and even identify emerging viral strains before they spread. But let's zoom in on a more personal level. AI in personalized medicine is rapidly becoming a game changer. Imagine visiting your doctor and having an AI analyze your genome, microbiome, lifestyle data, and even your wearable device metrics. It then recommends a treatment plan not based on population averages, but specifically tailored to you. Companies like Tempus and Foundation Medicine are already making this real. Their AI models analyze tumor genetics to match cancer patients with the most effective therapies. In one landmark case, an AI-assisted diagnosis changed a patient's treatment path and extended their survival by over 2 years compared to traditional methods. And let's not forget diagnostics. AI image recognition is outpacing even expert radiologists in some areas. Tools like Google Health's Lina, lymph node assistant, can detect metastatic breast cancer with 99% accuracy, helping pathologists avoid oversight in thousands of images. In ophthalmology, IDXDR is an FDA-approved AI system that can detect diabetic retinopathy from retinal scans, without a doctor present. The implications? More accurate diagnoses, faster treatment, fewer missed cases. But there's more. AI is breaking down language and access barriers in research. Projects like BioMed-LM, a large language model trained on biomedical literature, are helping researchers uncover connections hidden in millions of published studies. It can summarize, translate, and even suggest hypotheses, accelerating collaboration between global scientists. And in regions with limited healthcare infrastructure, AI is helping bridge the gap. In sub-Saharan Africa, mobile AI diagnostic apps are being used to detect malaria and tuberculosis from microscopic images, without the need for lab technicians. These tools are empowering frontline health workers and improving response times in underserved populations. There's also the forgotten drugs movement. AIs are now scouring historical databases to revive abandoned drug candidates. Many of these were shelved not because they didn't work, but because the data to prove their efficacy didn't exist yet. Now, with modern analytics and modeling, AI is finding second lives for old compounds. One such drug, eltoprazine, initially failed in the 1990s, but is now showing promise in treating Parkinson's-related aggression, thanks to AI-guided reevaluation. This kind of work is breathing new life into therapies that were once dismissed, slashing the cost and time of development by leveraging what we already know, just more intelligently. In synthetic biology, AI is helping scientists design entirely new proteins from scratch. This could lead to synthetic enzymes that clean up oil spills, lab-grown antibodies that target cancer cells, or even artificial blood substitutes for trauma care. Platforms like Cradle and LabGenius are pushing the frontiers of biology into territory once reserved for science fiction. AI is also making waves in nanomedicine. Imagine nanoparticles that deliver drugs to a specific cell type, and nowhere else. Researchers are now using AI to optimize these nanocarriers, making cancer treatments more targeted and reducing side effects dramatically. In one 2024 trial, AI-guided nanobots successfully delivered chemotherapy directly to a tumor site, bypassing healthy tissue and minimizing systemic toxicity. And then there's wearable tech. Devices like smartwatches and biosensors are feeding AI models with real-time data on heart rate variability, oxygen saturation, blood glucose, and even early tremor patterns. Apple's latest health algorithms, for example, can detect signs of atrial fibrillation days before a person feels symptoms. These constant micro-readings are evolving into predictive health systems, always watching, always learning, always ready to alert. Soon these devices won't just monitor, they'll intervene. Picture a wearable that detects an impending seizure and signals a neurostimulator to counteract it, all powered by AI anticipating what your body can't yet feel. As AI continues to evolve, global health collaboration is also entering a new phase. Cloud-based AI networks are enabling decentralized diagnostics, where rural clinics, mobile labs, and even refugee camps can tap into the same expert-level analysis once reserved for elite institutions. With just a smartphone and internet connection, a nurse in a remote village can scan a sample, upload the data, and receive an AI-generated report in minutes. This shift is redefining equity in healthcare, ensuring that the best diagnostic tools in the world aren't limited to the wealthiest nations. They're accessible to anyone, anywhere, in real time. But not everything is smooth sailing. Ethical concerns are rising, especially around bias in training data. If AI is trained predominantly on data from Western populations, will it miss critical variations in other ethnic groups? There's also the risk of overfitting, where AI gets too good at reading one dataset and fails in real-world conditions. To address this, new standards are emerging. The WHO has published guidance on the ethical use of AI in health, emphasizing transparency, equity, and accountability. Meanwhile, organizations like Stanford Center for AI in Medicine and Imaging are building diverse representative datasets to reduce bias at the root. Let's not forget the issue of explainability. In medicine, trust is everything. Doctors need to understand why an AI recommends a certain diagnosis or drug. The rise of black box models, whose inner workings are opaque, is raising red flags. That's why researchers are developing interpretable AI models which not only make accurate predictions, but also highlight the reasons behind them. It's a delicate balance, pushing the boundaries of what's possible while ensuring safety, trust, and ethics stay intact. Now let's fast forward a bit. Imagine AI systems that can simulate the human body in full fidelity. A virtual patient model. Pharma companies are investing in this idea, hoping to simulate how a drug might interact with every system in the body before it ever touches a human. Not only would this reduce animal testing, but it could also detect adverse effects before costly clinical trials. And this isn't just theory. In 2024, researchers at MIT and IBM announced a digital twin of the human immune system, a model that could predict immune responses to new vaccines. Early results suggest it could cut preclinical testing time by half. The future? It's not one where AI replaces doctors. It's one where AI becomes their most powerful ally, where researchers aren't drowning in data, but guided by it, where treatments are faster, more precise, and more personalized, and where incurable doesn't mean impossible. AI isn't just changing medical research, it's reinventing the very way we fight disease. From decoding our DNA to discovering life-saving drugs, we're entering a golden age of innovation, where human intelligence and artificial intelligence combine to do what neither could do alone. So if you're curious about where the future of health is headed, stay tuned. Want to stay ahead of the AI curve? Hit subscribe, tap the notification bell, and share this video with someone who needs to know what's coming next. This is Tech Mythos, where the future unfolds.